Today, we are diving deep into one of the most important yet often under-discussed aspects of men's health: prostate. Whether you're listening because you've been diagnosed with a prostate condition or you're simply looking to gain some preventive knowledge, this episode is designed to give you a complete and well-rounded understanding of everything related to the prostate. We're going to look at its anatomy, the diseases that affect it, treatment options, how it can influence other systems in the body, and finally, how prostate issues impact emotional well being. Welcome to the Dr. Wash Brains podcast. I am Dr. Akash Sehgal. Let's dive in. Let's start with the basics. The prostate gland. This small walnut sized organ sits just below the bladder and surrounds the urethra, the tube through which urine flows out of the body. It is responsible for producing part of the seminal fluid that nourishes and transports sperm during ejaculation. The prostate is highly influenced by hormones, particularly testosterone, and its more potent form, dihydrotestosterone. DHT is key to the prostate's growth and function, but over time, excessive DHT can also contribute to conditions like benign prostatic hyperplasia or BPH and even prostate cancer. As men age, the prostate naturally enlarges, a process influenced by hormonal changes, including lower testosterone levels and continued DHT activity. This enlargement can cause a variety of issues, as we will explore further. Now, BPH or benign prostate hyperplasia is one of the most common prostate conditions, particularly in men over the age of 50. BPH occurs when the prostate grows large enough to squeeze the urethra, making urination difficult. Now imagine a pipe being slowly pinched. The flow of water decreases, right? So this is what happens to your urine flow when the prostate expands. The symptoms of BPH range from mild to severe, and they mainly involve urinary issues such as frequent urination, especially at night, which is known as nocturia, a weak urine stream, or stopping and starting during urination, and often feeling like your bladder isn't fully empty after urination. Now, why do these symptoms occur? When the prostate enlarges, it presses against both the bladder and the urethra. And over time, this built up pressure in the urethra can weaken the bladder muscles, making it harder to push urine out efficiently. If left untreated, BPH can lead to bladder damage and urinary retention, which is the bladder's inability to empty it, and even kidney problems. Managing BPH can range from lifestyle changes and medications to surgical interventions, depending on its severity. In medications, we have got the alpha blockers like tamsulosin, which are very commonly prescribed. They can help relax the prostate and the bladder neck muscles, improving urine flow. Then we got the 5 alpha reductase inhibitors like finasteride and dutasteride, which which shrink the prostate by blocking the conversion of testosterone to DHT. Now, these medications can help relieve symptoms, but side effects like dizziness, reduced libido, or erectile dysfunction may occur. Then we got minimally invasive procedures like RESM. It uses steam to reduce the prostate tissue. Then we got Urolift, which physically lifts and holds the enlarged prostate tissue away from the urethra. Surgical options, which also exist for BPH, include transurethral resection of the prostate, or commonly known as TURP, a common procedure where part of the prostate is removed to relieve the blockage. Then we got holmium laser enucleation of the prostate, or commonly known as HOLEP, which is a newer technique that removes more tissue and has a lower recurrence rate. Now, there is recurrence of BPH symptoms after surgery. TERP, for instance, has a recurrence rate of about 10 to 15% over 10 years, while HOLEP is much lower at 2%. Prostate cancer is the second most common cancer amongst men globally. The risk of developing prostate cancer increases with age, and there is a strong genetic component. Men with a family history are at higher risk. There are different types of prostate cancer, but adenocarcinoma of the prostate is by far the most common. This type develops in the glandular cells that produce the prostate fluid. Many men with prostate cancer are asymptomatic in the early stages, which is why screening is crucial. Two common methods are prostate specific antigen test, or PSA. Elevated PSA levels in the blood can indicate prostate cancer, though they can be elevated due to BPH or prostatitis. The second is a digital rectal exam, or a DRE. It is a manual exam to feel for abnormalities in the prostate, where a doctor would per rectally check for any abnormalities. Now, a DRE can't feel abnormalities in the middle or the front part of the prostate, and it is less effective than a PSA blood test at finding prostate cancer. Advanced symptoms can include trouble urinating, blood in the urine or semen, erectile dysfunction, and pain in the lower back, hip, or pelvis. Now, active surveillance is extremely important. For low risk cancers, regular monitoring might be all that is needed. And it is an option for men with slow growing cancers. Surgery is another viable option. Radical prostatectomy, where we remove the entire prostate. There are different techniques, including open, laparoscopic, and robotic assisted surgery. Potential side effects include incontinence and erectile dysfunction. Incontinence is the inability to hold your urine. Radiation therapy is another option where we use external or internal radiation, known as brachytherapy, to kill cancer cells. Side effects include bowel issues, fatigue, and sexual dysfunction. Hormone therapy is also used where androgen deprivation therapy or ADT lowers testosterone, which can shrink or slow the cancer but can cause mood changes, hot flashes, and decreased bone density. Now, the endocrine system plays a central role in prostate diseases, particularly through hormones like testosterone and DHT. High levels of DHT contribute to prostate enlargement in BPH and have been implicated in the progression of prostate cancer. Androgen deprivation therapy, often used in prostate cancer treatment, directly targets the endocrine system by lowering testosterone levels. However, this can lead to side effects such as osteoporosis, decreased muscle mass, fatigue, and mood swings, making it essential to balance the treatment of cancer with the management of these symptoms. Dealing with prostate diseases isn't just about physical symptoms. There's a heavy emotional burden as well. Fear, anxiety, and depression often accompany diagnoses like BPH or prostate cancer. And many men worry about the impact of the disease and treatment on their sexual function, identity, and relationships. There are emotional challenges as well to this. There's a fear of losing sexual function. Prostate surgeries and treatments like radiation and hormone therapy can lead to erectile dysfunction, affecting a man's sense of masculinity and intimacy. Depression and isolation also take over. Chronic conditions, side effects of treatments, or feelings of embarrassment can lead to depression, anxiety, and social withdrawal. There is a lot of shame and stigma associated with this as well. That's why many men struggle to talk about prostate issues, further isolating them, at first mentally and then physically. Now, there are solutions for emotional wellness. Opening open communication with patients is very key for medical practitioners. Talking with your healthcare provider, partner, or support groups can reduce isolation and help manage emotional challenges. Psychological counseling is very important as well. Cognitive behavioral therapy or CBT can be highly effective for addressing anxiety and depression related to prostate diseases. Support groups are prevalent and gaining more attention. Join a prostate support group and it'll allow you to share your experience, reduce the stigma around it, and gain advice from others who are going through similar challenges. Sexual rehabilitation also is necessary post diagnosis and surgery. Working with a sexual therapist can help men regain confidence and intimacy, even if erectile function has been affected. Lifestyle changes like exercise, a healthy diet, and mindfulness techniques can all improve mental health, alleviate stress, and boost emotional resilience. While you cannot control certain risk factors like age or genetics, there are ways to reduce your risk of developing BPH or prostate cancer and improve your overall prostate health. Like, like changing your diet and focusing on foods which are rich in lycopene, like tomatoes, and cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, and adding healthy fats to your diet like fish and olive oil. Regular physical activity not only improves urinary function but also lowers your risk of prostate cancer. Smoking and alcohol both have been linked to an increased risk of aggressive prostate cancer. Regular checkups are important. Early detection through PSA testing and DREs is key to managing prostate health effectively. Prostate health isn't just about the prostate itself, it is about understanding how the small but significant gland influences your overall well being. From, from urinary function to sexual health and emotional stability. The good news is that today's treatments are more advanced than ever, offering a range of solutions to improve quality of life, whether you're dealing with BPH, prostate cancer, or prostatitis. So whether you're just beginning to learn about prostate health or you've been managing a condition for years, remember that you do not have to go through it alone. Seek out the support you need, whether that is from your healthcare provider, partner, or even the community. And always stay proactive in your health by maintaining a healthy lifestyle and scheduling regular screenings. This is the Dr. Wash Trains podcast. I am Dr. Akash Sehgal. If you liked the episode, do consider subscribing, leaving a comment, or dropping an email. Until next time, stay informed, stay healthy, and take control of your prostate health.